An exciting finish to that game, but a puzzling final possession by Kevin Durant. 12 seconds left, brings the ball up the court, passes it off to a guarded Klay Thompson, who was forced into a tough contested shot for the tie. Here's KD on what happened.
I raced it down. I was trying to see if I had some options. I seen Klay running along the baseline, and I maybe should have waited till he set his feet, but I just threw a bounce pass and tried to relocate for it. But, man, that's not the reason why we lost the game. I mean, I wish it could have been a better possession at the end, but, you know, we got to live with that and move on and be better next game.
He's going to live with it and be better, Chauncey. You heard the explanation, your reaction.
Well, first of all, he lost me at the start of his interview saying I was running down seeing if I had any options. You are the option.
Fair enough.
That's the only guy I would like Steph. I can stomach that, him having the ball too, but if I'm looking at the game and I'm saying, listen, my best player has the ball coming full speed, or not full speed, but full court, I'm feeling comfortable if I'm Coach Kerr. But you got an entire 10 guys on one side of the court. He can obviously make that shot. That would have been a bad time to take it. But if you're KD, I know he didn't sleep well last night because I've been in that position before when I should have taken a shot and I didn't. You wish you would have had a do-over. But obviously, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. He should have flattened the defense out and just went ISO 1-4 flat, or the whole right side of the floor was open. But trust me, he didn't sleep well last night. I don't care what he tells us. He relishes those kinds of opportunities, and he let it slip through his hands.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the guy you want the ball with in that possession. I mean, you got KD, who's pretty much been unstoppable in clutch moments, coming down the right side. That's what you want. If you don't call timeout, you keep the ball, you let the clock wind down, and you get your shot off. That was mind-boggling to me for him to just lose his poise. I just think he wasn't poised enough in that situation, like you said, coming off to the left side where all the defense, all the clutter was. But, you know, they'll learn from it.
He put Klay in a bad spot.
Yeah, he put him in a terrible spot. I mean, it was too many people over there. The defense was over there. It was just nothing he could do. And what do you expect? What kind of shot did you expect for Klay to get off in that circumstance?
I agree with not calling a timeout. However, when the play starts to break down and you see 5 guys on one side of the basket, that's a chance to actually recalibrate and call timeout. But the funny thing is this. Draymond Green was actually trying to do that.
Kinda, quietly.
Except the officials did not see it.
Of course
so that
they did. They're not looking at Draymond with all that action going on.
But what I'm saying is a level of confusion, a level of dysfunction, something that we normally don't see from a team that has 4 All-Stars. And think about what's on Klay's name today. He's a perennial All-Star. He's going to be a multiple champion. He may go in the Hall of Fame one day. And you know what people are saying? Why did he get a ball to Klay? Just think about that. That just shows you how
when you have
Kevin
Steph and
Durant,
KD over there.
Correct. It just shows you how they've elevated themselves to an MVP status so much that when they give up the ball to somebody else, it seems like an accident.
But Jay, the biggest problem in that to me is not that he got the ball. It's where he got the ball.
Correct.
Now, if he's spaced out, I'm living with that. If he's coming off of a down screen, I'm okay with that. But he's running, he's ripping. I mean, there's nowhere to go. Like, he shouldn't have touched that basketball. And again, if he had a do-over KD, I'm pretty sure it would be a little different.
So it's safe to say that it was an uncharacteristic performance by the Warriors. Post-game, Steve Kerr offered up an explanation.
Our normal sub pattern obviously was skewed anyway with Andre's absence, but I felt like in the fourth quarter, you know, we just ran out of gas. We scored 12 points. Tried to buy a little bit of rest for our guys, but yeah, they just outplayed us in the fourth, and they earned it.
I think, let me ask you this. Do you agree? Because I know this morning you didn't like it. The minute he said runs out of gas or ran out of gas, what did you think?
Well, I mean, I'm not giving that any energy.
Fair enough.
I was, you know, what was more important was that they have to play a lot of guys that they don't maybe really trust in these positions right now with Iggy being out, okay? They're playing a lot of different lineups now. You get Nick Young in there. You're getting Looney in there. You're getting some guys in there that you're not used to playing with these other 4 All-Stars. That's an issue. That really is an issue. But, you know, what I don't want to do also, guys, we got to give Houston some credit. Houston
without a doubt.
came to play, and they did what they had to do, what was necessary. Chris Paul was brilliant. James had a very good first half, but I just feel like Chris Paul made a big difference with his toughness and his grit last night.
I mean, the same could be said about Houston. They're playing their guys. Their stars are playing 42, 45 minutes.
Played 7
They only played 7 guys. They didn't seem to run out of gas. I mean, being that you're at home, you have the home crowd behind you, you should have much more energy. You can't use that as an excuse. You know, you guys have not lost at home in a couple years in the playoffs. But like you said, you got to give credit to where credit is due. James Harden, I said before this game, he had to have one of those performances. He came out there and showed everybody why he's the MVP. He went on the road in Golden State, got a win in a place that hasn't been broken into in, 2 years? Nobody has gotten a win in that building. One of the toughest places to play. And he got it done, and he's the MVP of the league. Now he has to go back home and do the same thing. If he can do the same thing for the rest of the series in next game, we could be seeing
He's going to need more. He's going to need more than that. He's going to need CP to be special.
And that's why they brought CP there, though. That's why they brought CP. They both have to play great, without a doubt.
This dub is all about the Houston Rockets. And it wasn't about them scoring 120 points. It was about the tenacity they showed me. I like seeing Clint Capella get a double-double. I like T.J. Tucker, 6'5", get 16 rebounds and guard multiple positions. I like seeing Eric Gordon make big shots late. Trevor Ariza locking down on defense. And James Harden got into a defensive stance and was actually a difference.
He made some big plays. He ripped KD.
Now, first off, you don't want Nick Young, to your point, with missing Iggy, initiating the offense.
Exactly.
CP got up on him, and he threw the ball away so fast, it was out of control. You see, this is like watching Bigfoot. Get a good look at that, because you might never see that again.
I don't think so. I think you will.